happening out there, everyone? As this is my first ever ride for Competence, I'm going to explain to you what I'm about. I'm going to discuss some real-life article that, as you may have guessed, may be able to be solved with a simple dash of competence. So, for today, we have a long-running topic, e-bikes. I'm definitely not going to go over all of the benefits. I'm going to go over a few articles. One from my very own city, Winnipeg, Manitoba. So first off, anyone of the opinion that e-bikes are motorcycles cannot finally put their crusade to rest. The European Court of Justice has ruled e-bikes are bicycles, not motorcycles. Because e-bikes are not capable of causing bodily and material damage to third parties that is equal to the damage motorcycles can cause. And that makes sense. Even a small 250cc motorcycle weighs over 300 pounds or 126 kilograms. And the Surron weighs a third of essentially what would be the lightest motorcycle you can get. So there's precedent for it now anyways. So that argument can, for the most part, be put to bed, really. With that, we have our first great example of why I named this video Ride for Competence. Next time you're in your car, just do me a favor. Look at the speedometer and tell me what it goes up to. 400 kilometers an hour, which is 124 miles an hour? More than that? What does this mean? Should your car therefore only be driven on a racetrack? Or did you become competent and not utilize every ounce of power you have in the vehicle absolutely everywhere? So why can't we just use competence here and share the roads, paths, trails, whatever you want to call them? E-bike riders and absolutely Surron riders don't want to wreck the ground which we're driving, because believe it or not, we absolutely love riding our bikes. That's the whole point. We wreck the paths, we can't use them either. We're not driving ground-destroying machines. That's not our passion. Riding is. Just like you. Now, a bit of personal bias here. In my experience, electric riders are far more considerate when out riding around. They use less energy to get up to speed, and therefore don't care so much to slow down. They don't come flying by people when there's a big enough room on the path to pass. E-bike riders just slow down and pass when it's safe to do so, or take a wide berth through grass or whatever, as again, it doesn't take any extra effort for me to do so. But that all being said, let's use a little competence here and not take up the entire pathway. As believe it or not, you don't own the whole thing. Just be considerate and keep an eye out for other people. That alone would be day and night on pathways. And everyone would be much, much happier. Which leads to the next point I have. From right here, in my own town, we have a Winnipeg councillor whose area is so well run and has so little problems. He's going after speed limits and active transportation trails. Instead of going after like homelessness, drug addiction, I don't know, or crime, the paths dedicated to bikes, e-bikes, and scooters, those are the real menace.
A menace!
For reference though, this city is decades behind its public transportation, and the city is finally investing in these trails at a decent rate, that we can actually use them to get to a point A to a point B safely away from motor vehicles. And now that people are actually starting to use them, we're going backwards and trying to deter them instead of just using a little bit of competence and self-awareness. And now, before I go any further, as a young city, I'm no politician, but why wouldn't we look at other major cities to see what worked? The blueprint is literally already there. You don't need competence, just the ability to copy what's already been done, which, let's be honest, we've all learned in high school. Am I right? Now, let's just go right to the top. Copenhagen, widely known as the biking capital of the world. They have more bikes than people, and yet they don't have speed limits in their bike lanes or active transportation paths. How can this not be a problem for them when you literally have more bikes than cars or people on the roads? And the only thing I can come up with is they have a student competence there. They can actually handle learning something or being taught something. And with that lies one of the top reasons a Winnipeg councillor wants to change these rules. And sorry, these aren't just rules, these are actually bylaws. Rules is kind of underselling what he's trying to do here. He's actually trying to change laws based on, well, one of these top reasonings. And at first, this seems completely genuine until we really get into it. So, a person living near Wellington Avenue Active Transportation Route has an older dog that can't hear very well. Aww. But has come close to getting hit by e-bikes while out for walks. So, my first point here is we've had bikes for over a century. That's over 100 years. And the fact that they're quiet is the problem. The issue in the article is against e-bikes, but if it's a sound issue, what did we do with analog bikes the last 100 years that suddenly we can't hear e-bikes? In fact, this person's next quote really paints the picture of how much this person cares for this dog and its well-being. And I quote, "He crosses the road suddenly to sniff on things, and e-bikes specifically have almost rammed into my dog." End quote. And no joke, that is a direct quote. And we're no longer saying the paths are unsafe, but suddenly crossing roads without warning is inherently dangerous? What? And I know two wrongs don't make it right here, but I also want to point out that having your dog on a leash, preventing him from cutting across the roads, is also a city bylaw. So just simply following that one bylaw would drastically reduce the chances your dog would dart across the road suddenly to sniff on something. Now, I a little bit blame the government here. They've really dropped the ball on PSAs, public service announcements, over the last decade or so. And it seems like, or it may just be time, that we need to remind people that it's common practice to look both ways before crossing the street. Because somewhere we've clearly failed to remember that. And that's not all. And he goes on to say, and I quote, "I do feel that e-bikes do not belong on active transportation paths." End quote. Hold up. Hang on. First concern is the dog can't wildly dart across the road safely, but now I'm not allowed on the path? Which is it, my friend? Come on now. Where are e-bikes, and not just Surrons, e-bikes, supposed to ride then? If we can't ride on the paths, we can't ride on the road, because one time you felt a moment of fear because you realized your dog can get hit while darting about on a road without a leash. Whew. The personal guilt from the owner, I think, here really resonates in that. But listen, I could go on and on.
And I can explain every natural phenomenon.
This is the level of thinking I'm dealing with here. I'm not against law changes for things that actually make sense. But we already have an uphill battle making this city a little greener. And having people find alternate transportation due to our weather alone. Why are we finding the worst reasons possible to make these active transportation paths less appealing for people? I don't get it. Instead, let's get back to what I've named this video. Let's use a little competence. I'm advocating for it. Please. Well, this has been quite the rant. But finally, I do want to touch on mountain bikers real quick. Flat out, your trails aren't being ruined by e-bikes. Companies are coming out with more and more of them, and they're only getting bigger. Yes, mountain bikes, electric mountain bikes from Yamaha, LMX bikes in France is making a 2,000 watt electric mountain bike. It's happening. It's coming whether you really want it to or not. The thing is, why would you not? Despite the appeal of being able to treat mountain bikers the way equestrian and hikers communities have been treating mountain bikers for years, we now realize bullying isn't the answer. So maybe take us new e-bikers under your wing and teach us, because yeah, maybe we do something that isn't quite trail etiquette, but hear me out. Maybe it's just simply not known practice everywhere, and that comes with learning a new hobby. I've never seen trail etiquette rules posted anywhere, including no trail signage. But what's up ahead? So, what I'm trying to say is, we're not all bad people. So why can't we all just get along? If something does happen, an incident happens, that's not trail etiquette, maybe let's help each other and then invite them to trail maintenance days, and then they can meet more people and understand what happens or what goes into maintaining a trail. P.S. If mountain bikes didn't wear down trails themselves as well, you wouldn't need maintenance days. Just saying. And with that, we're going to end the very first Ride for Competence. So, thank you for going on this journey with me. Absolutely. Let me know what you think. Truly, my intent here is to bring the biking community together. So, let's keep it respectful in the comments, and remember, until next time, ride with competence.